Okay, so you want to play Fortnite and don't know how? Worry not, gamers and wannabe gamers out there. This video will help you get started. Oh, wait, wrong video.
It's a new season, and that means a brand new battle pass. The season 7
Hold
battle
on, that's
pass-
not it. No, god damn it. Oh, thank God. It's hard to find those nowadays.
1, 2, 3, 4. Stand and fight. You know what's right. Defeat the evil and save the world tonight. Your destiny awaits. Don't deny your fate. Build your plan, believe you can, and we will stand and fight. We stand and fight. We will stand and fight. Yeah, we.
Alright, let's talk about Fortnite.
I'm playing Fortnite! I'm playing Fortnite!
It was developed by Epic Games, the company that takes your weekly allowance for virtual cash. Fortnite is one of the most successful online games of its generation, and has since become a cultural phenomenon. This game is slowly becoming a virtual cult, if you ask me. Equipped with 3 modes, and depending on what platform you play, it only has 2. You have Battle Royale, Creative, and the OG, Save the World. What? No one? No? Okay. Though it might not seem apparent, Save the World is actually the first to be developed as a PvE campaign. PvE. Player versus... envelopes. Yeah, let's go with that. It was only a few months later that they developed the booming cash cow we all know as Battle Royale, which is a free-to-play player versus player mode where you put 100 people in an area that gets smaller and smaller until one emerges victorious. You get the picture. Basically, it's like the Hunger Games, but people can build forts out of thin air while shooting each other to their virtual death. But I'm not here to talk about that. No. Like the title said, this video is about Save the World mode, which is not just a V-Bucks farm. After the booming success of Battle Royale, Save the World continued to innovate. And although slow, it has become a steady game mode for players who enjoy casual gameplays. And or take a break from looting good guns and just being eliminated every 5 minutes. So, if you're new to this game, or just want to know where to purchase it, this game's paid access by the way. Here are some things you should know for all of you geeks out there. No offense. Basically, the world is in turmoil, and 98% of the world's population disappeared. The sky is covered in dense cloud that created a chaotic storm known as the Storm. Very creative, I know. It dropped humanoid-like zombies called husks. A shirtless ripoff of the zombies from the Plants vs. Zombies game. They're not your typical zombies that eat brains, but they do attack the living for some reason. Anyway, the lore is not anything to write home about. It's the gameplay and mechanics that keeps you hooked. So you play as the commander, your very own virtual self that lets you control a variety of heroes from home base, and together with some colorful cast of supports, you build your fort, defend from husks, and fight your way through the storm. Easy in, easy out. It's not that difficult to understand. The story plays through different missions with different objectives. Some are difficult, some are easy, and some are just plain weird.
What, you want your medkit? Okay, I'll give you your medkit, okay? Anything from a little lady? Just sit right there, I'll give you your medkit, okay?
Check your map for the
What the-
survivor in danger.
What? I could have sworn I just saw you there. What? How did you? These missions include, but are not limited to, defending an objective for a certain amount of time, destroying portals to hell, transporting illegal goods. I'm not really sure. Building impossible architectures, and rescuing survivors that have a serious case of attachment issues. I'm talking about you, Ned.
Thank you. I was getting worried. I know it's a lot to ask. I really can't leave without it.
Some of these missions are time-based, so you will need to grind your way in order to meet the deadline. So no pressure. All you have to do is do the basic requirements and yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah!
We did it! We did it! We did it!
Okay, that's enough.
There are occasions that you finish the objectives ahead of time, and there's nothing else to do but to farm, farm, farm. See? The game gives you time to farm. You can also finish your story quest or whatever the heck you want to do. Or you can do this. Come on, you know you can't resist. You also have your side quests, which are optional quests that you can do anytime. Things such as defeat an amount of this or kill that thing or whatever, but I recommend doing your daily quests as soon as you see them, if you want to get your hands on some moolah. These quests do stack up to 3 times, so you won't get another one until you finish one, so don't get greedy. But my oh my, you can definitely make yourself rich just by playing this game. Dear Mom, I just want you to know that I've found a good source of income. I will be able to sustain myself from this day forward. I'm sorry for those times I've quote-unquote borrowed your credit card. Sincerely, your couch potato son. And finally, you have your fetch quest that you need to accomplish in order to progress the story. Get this item, destroy that thing, or whatever, and the most satisfying stories and lore about this game are the events that happen every season. Because they kinda have to do this, or else the community will rage over not having the same amount of content from Battle Royale, so no one feels left out and everyone is happy. But hey! We've got lockers now! That's so nice. See, they do care. Though it lacks visual representation, the voice acting in this game is phenomenon. The characters are interesting and makes you really care on what they do. You have the tough but sweet Sergeant, the control freak but caring Ray, the honest but hardworking director, and the list goes on, and different characters are introduced every season, which really does not connect to the overall story, but it's nice to see that they have their own spin-offs.
Not at this moment. Just to be, like, super clear, you want Santa's head and the rest of his body, right? Just the head. That is quite the ask. Mm-hmm. Beep beep, Dennis. I don't know what that means.
That's the sound of the timer counting down to detonation.
I would have done tick-tock.
It's digital.
Santa's head!
As the commander of home base, you get to choose your own hero, who will do all of your nonsense for you. Depending on the objectives and your overall playstyle, these heroes have their different roles that they do. You have the standard soldier, ninja, constructor, and the mother of all bears, the outlander. Basically, the soldiers shoot stuff and are great for range offense, the ninja double jumps and are melee experts, the constructors are beefy defenders, and the outlander, well, they send out an iron bear, which one day will take over us. The Husk, on the other hand, do have their share of varieties. You have your standard baseball fanatics, couch potatoes, your girlfriend on period, Husk that crabs bees, aimbots, small boys, mean boys, big boys, and a whole bunch of assortment of husky families. Take note that the Husk will do whatever it takes to ruin your day and destroy your objectives, so it is important to eliminate them as fast as possible. No, stop. No, stop it. Stop it. No, 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 no. I hate this game! If the story and characters are the heart and soul of the game, then the mechanics are the liver and gallbladder. Buildings and craftings are the main turning points, and depending on what you do, can make or break the mission. Right off the bat, you'll be given sets of blueprints known as schematics. These are, well, blueprints of the weapons that you're going to craft, because you're going to need them to fight these zombies. I said fight zombies, not black marketing, oh my god! The weapons from these schematics don't last forever, so you can't keep spamming them. These things have durability, and once the durability meter is used up, the item will break and then you can go ahead and craft another one, and the cycle continues. These schematics do require a set of items to craft, which you can find very abundant all over the world while doing missions. Hear that? While doing missions! So don't join just to farm and then leave your pubs hanging, okay? Let's keep it respectful, people! You can get schematics through different means, such as smashing voice automated animals, purchasing from the weekly item shop, and rewards from story or event missions, which I recommend getting because these are only available throughout the current season. You can also modify different attributes of the weapon by using the perk Recombobulator, the perk this thing. Having different combinations of perks will contribute to how the weapon will behave in battle. You can have a faster sword, hard-hitting hammers, boss killers, etc, but I recommend always going for the maximum critical rating and the maximum critical damage. Trust me, it's much better. So you can guarantee your character will pack a punch. You don't always have to rely on weapons for your main offense, as you also have your gadgets as backups. Basically, these are support items that can assist you from healing, crowd control, structure regeneration, and even manipulating time and space. Depending on your playstyle, you can always mix and match your gadgets, because you can always carry two. You can level these gadgets in the upgrade menu, but always remember to level up your backpack and storage item first, so you won't go crying if your inventory is suddenly full. Then you have survivors, which are basically used to power up your overall stats. You have fortitude, offense, resistance, and tech, F-O-R-T, fort for short. See how clever they did that? So you assign a leader that knows stuff about the stats you will raise, and all you have to do is group survivors into squads, and squads do their thing, and you just have to matchy their personality, because a team works better if they get along. I know I'm being blunt, but that's all there is to it. You match more stuff, you get better bonuses, and as long as you level them up, your number goes higher. You don't have to make it difficult, and you don't have to use autofill for something this simple. On the other hand, the building aspect of this game is very important and plays a huge part of the missions. Unlike in Battle Royale where you 90s your way to get an advantage, you get to use building here to defend your objectives. Your builds can be upgraded 3 times and changes their looks from what materials you use. The type of materials are important to consider in dealing with different kinds of elemental enemies, such as wood is weak against fire, brick is weak against water, and metal is prone to corrosion from nature-type enemies. Your tech stats determine the overall health of your build, so you want to grind that up if you want to get beefy. In line with your build, you also want to make sure that you equip them with proper traps, because unlike the Husk, you are smart, and you have the ability to outwit these abominations. It is important to note that the Husk will always find the most convenient way to the objective, so don't go spamming traps in places where the Husk do not want to go. This topic on its own is a little complex and does do some trial and errors, but there are multiple sources on how to build convenient trap tunnels on the web, so I'll link them down below in the description if you're too lazy to do it. For post-content, you might feel a bit disappointed cause, well, it doesn't have one. Sure, it doesn't have one yet, but the game does integrate post-game through difficult scaling in a new area in Twined Peaks. This is just a reskin of the previous maps that you do, but with much more powerful and smarter enemies with higher rewards. Like I've mentioned, the game does update content every season, so it's like a free DLC once every 3 months or so. Stop complaining, it's free. Now that we have covered most of the mechanics, it's time to answer the most important question of a valued consumer. Is it good? The answer is
Yes.
yes and yes. You should definitely give it a try, guys. If you're already playing Battle Royale, you'll also be able to get exclusive skins for just being a founder. And again, they are free cosmetics. My point is, you'll get a bang for your buck just by purchasing access to the game. In terms of gameplay, killing zombies with cool, unrealistic weapons while defending an objective is fun in its own right. However, the mission and fetch quest does come as repetitive in the late game. And if you do not have patience for poor performance and lagging, not to mention those awful long loading screens, then you'll have a hard time keeping up with this game. The game does feature seasonal events, so you can always take a break from playing once in a while and just focus on your daily quests. Okay, before you get started, here are a few things that you should take note of. As you progress through the story, you will encounter missions that have Storm Zone modifiers. These missions either give you or the enemy buffs that ups the difficulty for a significant amount, so the game forces you to play with other people. You can still get through these missions solo, as long as you are aware of what you're fighting against and you know how to play your cards. So pay attention. Of course, blue gives specific heroes buffs, and red indicates that the enemies have something up their sleeves. If you have a few V-Bucks to spare, keep an eye out for special llamas in the item shop. Some of them contain heroes, schematics, and survivors that you won't normally acquire, especially the mythic survivors. These in turn will help you overall stats and get you beefed up in the later game. Plus, they're unique. And if you do have V-Bucks to spare, please don't forget to use my code. It will definitely help my channel a lot. Alright, that's enough. You can use expeditions to send heroes that you don't use to go on a mission of their own, to hunt materials that you will use for crafting. The hero will be unusable for a certain amount of time, but don't worry, you won't be short on them in the long run. Before defending an objective, keep an eye out for the storm-like pillars around the area. These always indicate where the husk will be coming from, and you'll be able to build your traps from there. The spawn points do change during the mission, so keep an eye out for the warning and pay attention for once, so you won't go wasting any of your hard-earned mats that you farmed. Also, keep an eye out for propane tanks, as these ugly fellas will screw you from behind. Whenever you do a retrieve the data mission, always look up to check where the balloon is landing. Just stop, look, and head to that direction and you can build your defenses from there. When playing as the constructor, always remember that you have the ability to use the base. You know that thing in your trap wheel? No matter what branch of beefy boys or girls you are playing, you will always have this ability. You kinda need it to strengthen your defenses, so yeah, it is important. Make sure to upgrade your stats using research points. See this lightning bolt here? That's called your power level, and although it's a random number, which I'm still unable to understand how it calculates, it does determine how powerful you are. Leveling up your power level will help buff you and your self-esteem because late game missions get hard real fast, especially if you're playing alone. You'll constantly be dying and no one will be there to revive you. God damn it, I love this game. Whenever you whack the troll, always remember to whack the troll. Literally, as using melee weapons, including your pickaxe, will stun that little devil and you will be able to hit it a second time. When opening chests that you find in the map, you will occasionally receive weapons that are pre-crafted and ready for use. Now, you may be thinking, yay, free weapons! No. Compared to your schematics, these weapons don't have any perks and therefore does not offer any buffs to you and your personality. Under any circumstances, you should not be using these weapons as these weapons are crap and belongs to the recycling bin even if they are a higher power level. Instead, you should be focusing on your own schematic and using the byproducts of these weapons to your crafting needs. And lastly, if you find these floating blue things called blue glow along the map, always pick them up. Not only is this used for a certain objective, but it can also be used to temporarily buff you during the mission, using these machines scattered around the map. Come on, just pick them up. It won't take your precious time. God damn it. So while Save the World may not be perfect, and I understand if you'll be playing Battle Royale ever so often, this game is really satisfying. Save the World has gotten better and keeps getting better every season. It has the same charm as its brother, and it's apparent that the developers put their heart and soul into this game. While still being labeled as early access, it has the experience of a full game and I look forward to much more content to come in the future. So, if you want the full Fortnite experience, you should definitely give this game a chance. And I do hope that this beginner's guide will help you along the way. Hey, this is Jack, the casual Fortnite player. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you all later. Oh, and don't forget to use my support the creator code in the item shop. It will help my channel a lot.